Greetings! Welcome to episode 73 of Combe TV. It's good to catch up with you. If you missed the autumn classic, some of those videos and whatnot might be quite new to you, but that is the visual PR touch man Joe Marrow that is now my wonder wizard on the videos for visual PR, that he's added his magic touch to it and it looks really good. But welcome in what is going to be an incredibly busy show. Fingers crossed they're all going to rock up. We've got lots and lots of guests that we're going to see during the course of this show to preview, can you believe this, grand finals weekend. And already I've seen some of the comments that are coming in, and keep those comments, share the video, like it, love it, whatever. It's so good to be back with you. I mean, Tim Perry, one of our mighty Orange Army. Dilly dilly, everyone. So here we are again, the last race meeting of 2023 at Combe already. Can't believe we are there already. I know, mate. I know. It's unbelievable. It doesn't seem 5 minutes away ago, does it? The good news is, well, I hope this is good news. Combe TV is going to carry on through the winter every month. And once we're not previewing race meets, we're going to have all sorts of guests. I think we're going to do champions nights. We're going to look at the different championships and get lots of guests on. We'll look at getting some special guests on from, maybe tenuous links with Castle Combe in some way, but we're going to have some fun with it. And of course, that means the gin cupboard is stacked up. Dilly dilly indeed, mate. So, hope you got your tipple in hand. Henry Moore, hello, all going to be some great racing on Saturday. Can't wait. You're not wrong. The entry list looked absolutely fabulous. Emma Brown, the Formula Ford Championship coordinator. Even in all, dilly dilly, can't believe last race of the season already. I agree. It is unbelievable. George Gillespie, hello, mate. Welcome back to the show. Lewis Bird, evening all, I'm looking forward to finals day. I'm bringing my 7-year-old son to watch for the first proper time. Good man. Did I say you won some tickets as well, Lewis? That was good to see. Goose, hello, mate. Good evening. Can't believe the last meeting is on us already. We get the tone that this is that we are all like, wow, can't believe it. George Gillespie says, especially excited for the GT Championship. You should be. There's some pretty special kit coming out this time as well. It looks good. Mike Cotton, hello, mate. Good to hear from you, my friend. We might be in for some decent weather. Apparently so. What can go wrong with me in a hot commentary box, eh? I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'm drinking lots of water. Kat herself, hello, good evening. Good luck on Saturday. Absolutely. Thank you for the late entries and withdrawals. That was a bit of a nightmare 20 minutes before going backstage with my guest, but I got it sorted. So thank you for getting those through to me. Caroline, hello, Caroline. Evening all from Caroline Sutton. And we still remember the champ. Don't you worry, Caroline. Definitely. Zaki Omar says, evening all. Chris James, grand finals day. Always exciting and a great day out for me and my young granddaughters. Oh, fantastic. Sad, though, it's the last meeting of the season. Just gets us excited for the new ones. Don't forget, we've still got more. Next Saturday, I'm at Castle Combe again, covering the live stream of the Bristol Motor Club Great Western Sprint. And if you've never been and watched it, I do recommend it because it's good fun to watch, and it's also a great way of getting into motorsport. I started commentating on that for them a couple of years ago, and I tell you, it's really, really good fun. I love it. So, and it's free entry for spectators, so feel free to get along. Tina Weston, the Hot Hatch coordinator. Good evening. Hope everyone is all set for Saturday for our final race day of the year. Yeah, we're there or thereabouts. I've had to do all my prep already because I'm hosting the racing school at Castle Combe tomorrow, so I won't be doing my final prep tomorrow. Yay, great news. Emma, I'm hoping that's about the fact that we're still going to be doing shows through the winter. I hope so. Richard Perry, big guy. Hello, mate. That's just water. It is, Your Honour. The ice cubes were just water, mate, if that makes you feel any better. Papa Pa, evening, guys. Hello, mate. Did I see you're coming along as well, mate? That'd be good to see you there. And I'm hoping you'll be at the sprint the following weekend. But I think I saw that Matt's not there for that one. He's doing something different. Duffers, Darren Duffield says, evening all. Evening, mate. Rob Jones, our mighty two-wheel commentator. Evening, Chris. I should be along to watch some four-wheel action. Good man. Hopefully I'll see you up in my commentary box as well then, buddy. Race Coupe Cup. We're looking forward to coming back to race at Castle Combe for the first time since 2016. So, Rocket, I'm assuming you know who Race Coupe Cup is because they're getting you boys under the cosh there. So that's good. I can see him in the background looking confused, to be honest. Richard, weather looks great. Entries look great. Fantastic event. And of course, handsome Chris commentating. Absolutely, mate. I owe you some money for that, don't I, buddy? That's our events manager that is chiming in there and what have you. Lewis Bird says, yes, he did. Thanks to the Racing Club for the free tickets. He won the competition for the tickets. Gary Franks, evening all, looking forward to the last round. Good man, and good luck, Gary. Enjoy it, mate, out there in your Mini. Matt Coyle, the Saloon Car Championship Coordinator. Evening, everyone. Let's go racing. Absolutely. John Creech. Hello, Creechy, mate. Looking forward to the final Mighty Minis race. And actually, there has been some great racing across the board in all Combe series this year. I agree. Good news is I've just seen Luca pop in down below. Welcome, Luca. Good to see it's working, mate. Relax. You can breathe now. Pink Spiller, hello, mate. Evening, Dawesy. Looking forward to summer on Saturday. Finding a broken steering rack at the last round wasn't ideal. Looking good now. I'm glad to hear that, mate. It's not ideal, but I guess at least with it being the penultimate round, you can get it sorted and come out racing again. So that's good news. Alan Hamilton. Now he is fighting for the GT Championship this year with Jamie Sturgis, who of course has won it once before. He was going to be coming on the show with me, but sadly he's got man flu. Oh my God, get well, mate. Sorry I couldn't make it this evening. I don't think everyone seeing my running nose is suitable. I hope that means you're going to be okay for Saturday, mate. Get yourself dosed up with everything. Ross Parker, hello, mate. Saturday's looking good, isn't it just? And thank you for yourself and Slip and Grip posting those amazing video footage of a car that is out in the GTs this weekend that looks special. GT2 Dodge Viper, 660 brake horsepower and 1,100 pound per foot torque or something crazy like that. It's just an absolute monster. So thanks for posting those. Beardy, hello, mate. Evening all. Chris, please pass on our thanks to all the marshals and officials that made the season happen. Wonderful comments. I agree wholeheartedly. Thank you to all of the marshals. Obviously, Mr. Beard there looks after everyone as the coordinator for them all. Thank you to the marshals, the officials, the recovery crews, maintenance crews, medical crews, fire crews, all of you that enable the season to happen. We do thank you wholeheartedly. Papa Parr confirms, sadly, not doing a Great Western Sprint on pit stop duty for the lad, but hopefully see you this Saturday. Good man. See you there. The Med Centre, good evening. Joshua wanted to say hello. Hello, Joshua. Hope you're well, mate. Welcome to the show. They're letting you stay up a little bit longer, I hope that means, does it? Not one to stir her out. Graham Shepherd, good evening all. Whoop, whoop. Looking forward to being back at Combe with the Mighty Minis. Can't wait for this one. We can't wait to see you back. I say back, but of course it's the first time this year, bizarrely. It's just the one race meet right at the end. So we can't wait to see you out there racing. And we've got Craig Cook in the wings ready to come on and join me to update us on what we can look forward to on that championship. Understandably is that Emma also says thank you to the Orange Army. I know we all mean that. And one of them, the mighty Orange Army, puts there the orange heart. That's brilliant. Matt Pyre, who I've already said is going to be here this Saturday. We need you back on the racetrack, Matt. Evening all. Sun cream is ready for a chilled day with a beer on the banks. Okay, that's probably, you're selling that idea to me now, mate. You are. Right. Thank you for all the comments. Keep coming in. Don't forget, like, love, everything like that, because it's great to see that. Share it, because we've got a whole host of guests. I think I've actually got them all in now so I can breathe, because sadly Helen can't come on. Mike Good was going to come on, but sadly he can't now. And I hope everything is okay with you, mate, but he'll be up there racing. So I'm going to start with the Monopostos. So I'm going to bring out our guests for the Monopostos. Greetings, gents.
Evening, Chris.
How are you doing? You're
right. Welcome, guys. So we got Will Cox and Andreas Hicks. Let's just make sure everybody knows what's happening. Will, because you're the one that dragged your mate into it and dropped him in it, I'm going to start with you. What do you race and in what class?
So I race a Rolt RT3 1984 from the 3-car in the Mono Classic class.
And did I not see that one of your cars up for sale not that long ago? Is that, or am I imagining it?
I had 1600 up for sale at the beginning of the year, which did
Okay,
sell.
maybe it's the year's gone that quick. That wouldn't surprise
Yeah.
me if that was it. So thank you for that. And Andreas, speak to me. What are you racing and in what class?
So I've got a 27 Bill Van Diemen F4 running in the 2-litre class.
Oh wow! So you're going to be taking on this track at some speed then?
Similar speed to Will, hopefully, to be fair. Will's got a very famous car, obviously the Jim Blockley car, which is pretty quick. So you probably be similar sort of speed. I'd imagine it'll actually end up being a little bit quicker than me, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's a cool thing.
Don't say that, for God's sake. You'll make his head grow. And Will, pick it up on it. I know that. As soon as I said it, I knew it full well, because you're always sort of fighting with the big boys and everything as well, aren't you? But for people that don't know, what is well known about your car?
So my car has raced in Monoposto since I think 1989. Originally with Jim Blockley, who I bought the car off at the end of last year. So I did last year's Grand Finals day in the car when he still owned it. And I had such a good weekend in it that I was just like, I can't not have this car. So I ended up buying it off him. And then, but in the time that the car's been running in the club, it's won 6 championships in his name, and then I added 1 to it this year as well. So
You did. Well done, mate. Well done. I did see that. They, I mean, you sort of pilot the same. I'm trying to find the paperwork now to remind me on all the details on this. I seem to have lost it. I'm well organised, but disorganised at the same time. Here it is. So yeah, in terms of this championship, so this is not a championship round now, is it? It's into that winter series almost, isn't it? The Reprise IT Tiedeman Trophy that you guys do every single year, which I think is a nice touch. But the championship itself, you've won the Classic 2000 championship. Well done.
thank you.
Is that your first championship win? No, you won. You won the Tiedeman back in 2018, didn't you?
Yeah, and I've also won the Mono 1600 championship in 2020.
Ah, yeah, there you are. My bad. Sorry, mate. I knew you would pick me up on it if I got it wrong. You wouldn't forget it, would you? Now, Andreas, how have you got on this year?
Yeah, not too bad. So my first year racing was last year, so getting to grips with everything. I chose a great car to start racing in, and everyone said I was a complete idiot, but it's it's worked out somehow. Yeah, really enjoying it. I've picked up 5 or 6 podiums now over the past couple of years, and getting quicker and quicker, which is nice. So we are getting there. We're getting there now. So yeah.
So this car, it's a Van Diemen RF1000 with a 2-litre Ford Z-Tech. So does that, and apologies that I'm going to sound really daft, because bizarrely I don't think I've commented. Have I commented on you guys, Will, this year? Once, possibly.
No, you haven't. No,
I haven't. I know that because we've communicated numerous times during the year, and normally I do, don't I? Multiple times during the year.
Yeah.
But I'm never in control where I'm booked for. So, Andreas, that is what looks like a classic Formula Ford shape, but with a beast of an engine in it. Is that correct?
So the shape and the bodywork is based off of a 2000 model year car. So my car itself was built to race in the 750 Motor Club F4 Championship, sort of back in the mid 2000s, and there were a number of cars that were converted by Comtech for that use. Okay. So the car is very similar shape-wise to a US Formula 2000 car, for example, or a Formula Continental car. So quite similar in that regard. It is effectively a Formula Ford mine's got an 1800. I run in 2-litre class. Mine has an 1800 Z-Tech in it.
Oh, does it?
But it is effectively, a Formula Ford with the slicks and wings. Yeah.
So it's got the wing on.
Yes, yeah. So I've got front and rear wing and slicks on there as well.
No, that's cool. It's an eclectic mix, doesn't it? And there's some engineering masterpiece strokes in it as well. I do love it. You didn't race, Andreas, at Anglesey, because this is the second round of the Tiedeman Trophy, isn't it? You didn't race at Anglesey?
That's right. No, that's right. Yeah, so I work for a classic auction house, and I had an auction the following Monday to go to. So unfortunately not, but it's sort of taking it steady and trying to not do too much at the moment. So I'm missing a couple of races. I'm doing sort of four or five races, or about four races I think I've done this year, and then that's helped keeping it sustainable.
Yeah, no, I get that. Have you raced at Castle Combe before?
Yeah. So I raced at Castle Combe last year. We had a rather interesting incident. My starter motor packed up, and there's quite a funny video that's circulated of a number of people bump starting me and falling over behind me, which was and then that was funny. And then to top it off, the car cut out at the starting lights. I started 26 seconds behind everyone else. I had to overtake the ambulance around Quarry, which was brilliant fun. Managed to somehow finish. I think I finished in 7th or something at the end. So quite a good sort of hold it back quite well. But Combe's got. It's my home. It's my home circuit. I'm only based in Tetbury, so I'm not too far away. So I've got to do it. But it's great fun circuit, but certainly not for lack of. Not for lack of its dramas for me.
It kind of almost got that unfinished business feel to it this weekend then for you.
Yeah, exactly. And it should be good fun, and the car is nearly ready. So, as long as we get out on track, it'll be okay.
That sounds about right for you racing drivers. Yeah, leave it to the last minute. I got you. Just out of interest then, so you're Tetbury. Have you grown up around near Castle Combe?
No, so I grew up on the Isle of Wight. Went to university in Bristol, had not a lot to do, obviously always into my cars, but not a lot to do with that. And then started working for the auction house, H&H Classics, about 3 years ago now. Good friend of mine, Adam Sykes, who was running the Whitson Trophy at Goodwood actually this year, did really, really well. We became quite close friends, and it's, the possibility of racing turned into, so I'll do my license, turned into, well, I've got my license now. There's no point letting it lapse. And then here you go. I'm racing. So it's, I've fallen into it to a certain degree through my own sporadic decisions.
That sounds good enough to me. So it's not like you've grown up sort of on the spectator banks at Combe or anything like that. But
no, it's just. I've just decided let's do it, and which has been challenging because I have no mechanical background, I have no family racing background. But part of the reason I decided to choose Monoposto was because I was told that it was a real friendly grid and everyone was willing to muck in and help each other out. So that I can't say how true that is. Everyone is fantastic, and everyone will work. In my case, at my first race until 10 o'clock at night to make sure you're out on the grid. So it's been the perfect place for me to start, to be honest.
I understand that. As Will knows, is that I've sort of had the pleasure of commentating on you guys for many years, quite a lot of the races, and I agree. I know Rachel love it and all of that, and it's just a lovely paddock, and I get that. Question then, in the opening rounds, the races at Anglesey, the 2000 class that you're in, Tom Wheatley did the double. Can you beat him?
I'm going to use the typical driver's excuse here, and I'm going to say he's got a 2-litre engine and I've got an 1800, and we'll leave it at that.
I think that's fair. I mean, is it enough of a difference that he could canter off into the distance?
He is this year done phenomenally well. I mean, he's a fantastic driver, very quick. He has a very quick car. That car was Kevin's before. And Kevin had lap records in that car as well. On top of that, and he likes me laughing about it, he's got a lovely new diffuser which I can't wait to steal, and that's helped him a bit as well. So when I've got a bit more experience under my belt, I'll certainly get closer. But that being said, this year I've been a bit more in the mix, with a couple sort of seconds and a couple of podiums, and in a couple of years, we may well be able to get closer to it. So
fair enough.
We'll see.
I mean, there's plenty of you in the 2000 class. So you've got Terry Clark, Tom Wheatley, Paul Bailey, Rodney Toft, and Matt Jordan all out there. So there's a good chunk of you competing in that 2000 class. So that's good.
It's a great class, pound for pound, performance for the performance side, wise. The F3 class is significantly more expensive to run those cars. You've got carbon bodyworks, so if you have an off, you've got to factor that in. The maintenance is obviously more as well, and the cars are a little bit more high tech. So the 2 litre and the 1800 cars, because they've got reliable engines, they're primarily fiberglass bodywork, and they're very simple cars. For the performance that you get, which isn't that far off of the F3s, they're a phenomenal bracket for you to be in, and I think that's why we're finding more and more people now. In fact, some people are moving down from F3 into the 2 litre class because certainly over the last couple of years, it's become a very, it's become a real nice sort of in between for people, and the racing is getting increasingly closer, which is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before I move to Will, just quickly, because I'm conscious that everybody is watching and dropping the comments in, so let me just quickly catch up with a few. So Chris, hello, Sav. Hope to be up Saturday to see Daz and Mark, I would assume that is. Hopefully see you there, mate. I was gutted. I thought you were going to be racing in the Coupe Cup, mate. Chris Didcott, looking forward to racing this weekend. Without the marshals, we wouldn't be racing. 100%, totally agree. Kipo, ex-Saloon car champion, intended to do it again. Even and all, currently recovering from illness myself. Hope to be 100% Saturday. There seems to be a lot of it going down. Our very own Emma Strawford, evening Em, evening all. I hope there's a French red on the go as well for yourself, Em. Clive Woodward, my co-commentator for the weekend. Looking forward to working with you and commentating on Saturday. Looking forward to it, mate. It's been too long. Hopefully everyone is well. There you go. Sav did confirm that it was for Fordy and Jones that he's on about. Sue Woodland, hi Sue. Evening all. Looking forward to a long, busy day, and weather looks good. It really does. It looks balmy, doesn't it? To be honest with you. Lynn Hoy, thanks to Richard and Jackie Beard for organising the Orange Army. The year has gone too fast. Thank you for all your work, Lynn. We appreciate it. Sheila Kersley says, good luck to Luca, our driver, Kersley Motorsport. Wait, Sheila, we haven't moved on to that series yet. And we'll get them out in a minute. And Tom Wheatley himself says, hope we can have some fun this weekend, Andreas Hicks and Will Cox. Absolutely. That's the bad news, Mr. Hicks. He was watching as well.
That's all right. I'll tell him his diffusers are illegal as much as you want.
On that note, let's just quickly grab in. Will, I mean, we were just talking about how many are in for the 2000. I mean, your classic class, you got David Cox. That's your dad, isn't it?
Yeah, my dad. Yeah.
In another Rolt RT3. Nick Catanzaro in a Formula Vauxhall Lotus. I love those cars as well. Yourself in the Rolt RT3. Ed Guest in the Anson SA4. And an Alt RT30 of Paul Smith. So there's a good few of you on that one, although from my experience, you tend to be fighting with the other classes anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Hopefully, some of them might be able to push me, but I just want to try and be mixing it with as fast as I can, basically. Just try and get as close to the outright front as possible, really.
And you shouldn't be saying pushing you, because Andreas will get worried because it will bring back flashbacks of last year of people pushing him.
Well, that is true.
But you've started the as well as winning the classic 2000 class outright for the main championship season. You've started this Reprise IT Tiedeman trophy with a bang as well, with the double victory at Anglesey.
Yeah, Anglesey was a brilliant weekend. We were incredibly lucky with the weather for my particular grid. Andreas wasn't there, but his grid ended up with 2 wet races, whereas we ended up with completely dry weekend. Just happened to be the way the timetable worked.
Wow.
And the track dries really quickly there. But no, it's a fantastic weekend. Lots of great racing across the classes, and yeah, just lots of great fun, really.
I'm trying to remember, where's Rodborough Common?
Near Stroud, so I'm also a local boy.
I thought, yeah, it was, but then I was there going, I don't recognise Rodborough Common, and I know in our conversations I was sure you were. So we got the local boys to cheer on. That's what the spectators have got to know, is that Will Cox is out there in number 44, his dad in number 2, also obviously a local boy, and Andreas in number 23. So make sure you're cheering them on, local boys. So that's good. welcome back, Wayne. I thought we'd lost you for a minute then. See him in the back, in the bottom there. But it still looks like a good grid. We've had a couple of additions tonight. Jason Timms has now been added to the Moto 1400cc. Those things are bonkers, mind, aren't they? The Moto engine ones.
Yeah, those F3 cars with 1400 engines are so quick, and they sound awesome as well.
Don't they just? They really do. And 50 Declan Wright's out in the Gem AW3 in the Moto 1000 class. Is that good news, is it, Andreas?
Yeah, he's a nice chap.
Yeah,
he's a good egg. So that's nice to see him out on the grid again.
And that was hot off the press tonight. Again, thank you to Kat that she got through the document through to me so that I could see a couple of last-minute additions. We have not lost anyone from your race, so that's good news. So we haven't lost anyone, and that's the way we'd prefer it to be. So you guys racing at Castle Combe for races 3 and 4 in a 6-race winter series. It's not fair, is it? But that kind of is the easiest way I describe this bit. And you go on to Silverstone, which by my reckoning is supporting the Walter Hayes. Thank you. I just went absolutely blank there. Sorry, James Beckett. I don't know why I went blank because I love that thing, the Walter Hayes. And that's a great event to be supporting, especially in a single-seater as well.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant to be at the Walter Hayes. I think it's the 3rd year that we've done it now. It's brilliant to be able to sort of get in and obviously watch the grand final as well. Last year we were fortunate enough that the event was streamed, so our races got streamed, which is always nice to be able to watch them back afterwards, and hopefully that might happen again this year. But yeah, I mean, hopefully the weather will be good at Silverstone. Historically, at that time of year, it isn't, but we'll see. Well, we'll just pray for some dry weather.
Hey, listen, we wouldn't normally expect this all October weekend to be 20-odd degrees, would we? Let's be honest. And yet that's what it's going to be.
Well, we'll wait until the actual day, Chris, on that. Yeah. I don't trust any of the forecasts anymore.
True. I'm with you on that one. Okay, well, listen, both of you, what should we look out for this weekend that we haven't necessarily already covered, unless we already have?
Ooh. That's a very good question, Chris.
I think we largely have.
We've got the new cars. We've got the new F3s, haven't we? In the 2008 F3s that are going to be allowed in from next year.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
they ran as an invitation. Ran as an invitation last year, and now they're actually eligible to score points in the Tiedeman this year. So they've got their own class called the F3 Cup class.
Yeah, because of course the F3 Cup we had here previously, because they broke the outright lap record before they sort of like got amalgamated in. It's a shame. We've only got the one of those F3 Cup cars. George Line is the only one at the moment, but you never know. We might get a couple of sneaky entries. But those things are bonkers round Castle Combe. Hence, it's got the outright lap record. So Stefano Lini was obviously at the wheel of that one. Listen, guys, I appreciate your patience waiting at the back there. This is looking exciting. There's a good grid of cars. We got Formula Renaults out there. We got Formula Vauxhall Lotus, the RT3s, Van Diemen's, Toms, a Hyper Racer X1, or is that X1? Yeah, X1. That sounds dramatic, doesn't it?
That's an Australian car that's come over and runs in the 1400 class. It looks like nothing else on the grid. It's got very sophisticated, kind of clever curved bodywork. It's kind of got a semi-halo. It looks kind of like it'll look very different to every other car that's out there on the grid.
What are we talking? How does it compare speed-wise? Or is it just in the mix at the moment?
Speed-wise, it's kind of based on what's happened this season. It's slower than Jason Timms running in the 1400 class. So it's not on a Dallara pace.
Okay.
But it's sort of running. Well, at Silverstone, which was the last event it did, it was running just ahead of me around Silverstone Grand Prix circuit.
Okay, but like it'll be fun for us to see it out on circuit because it looks good by the sounds of it.
It's absolutely, it's one of the loudest cars. I hope it gets through the noise test.
Yikes, that'll be worrying if that doesn't get through, but we'll wait and see. Listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Best of luck. Well done on your championship win, Will.
Thank you.
Good luck with the fact that you started off with a win at the start of this winter series. And Andreas, best of luck that you missed Anglesey, but you're going to make up for it this time, and no one's going to have to push your car.
Fingers crossed.
Guys,
got to beat the ambulance.
Absolutely.
Yeah, beat the ambulance this time. Yeah.
Don't get caught behind that, for goodness sake. So, guys, thank you. That is the Reprise IT Tiedeman Trophy. We look forward to seeing 2 races from you guys. Thank you for joining us.
See you on Saturday, Chris.
See you Saturday, guys.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So thank you to the those guys that came there. We're going to look next at the Hyundai Coupe Cup, just so that those guys can get ready. But very quickly catching up on a couple of comments. There's not too many, but Emma confirms it's not French red this time. It's Thatcher's Gold on the go. Goodness me, you've been corrupted, Em. That's what I like to see. Few messages out of turn for when they're people. So put these in again later. We got your people on, but we've got Shahida Khan, evening all, good luck, Chris Didcott and Nev Kirkpatrick. Stuart Tinker Taylor, hello, mate. Good evening, Chris and all. Have a great finals day. I won't be able to make it. Really? You're not there, mate? That's terrible. The Fuffers are going to be great. Hope it's a great day's racing and everyone's staying safe from a Fuffer-loving Camp Softcore fan. It gets worse every time you add more words to that, mate, doesn't it? But I know what you mean. And Tim Perry says, good luck, guys. See you Saturday to the Monopostos. George Gillespie says, only his second finals day as he's only 12. Well, enjoy it, mate. Right, let's have a chat about, the OT Hyundai Coupe Cup with Toyo Tyres, I think is the full name. And we'll bring out the guys to chat about that. Greetings, gentlemen. Let me put it to that so that we're all a bit bigger. Greetings, Luca and Wayne Rocket. And appreciate your patience, Rocket, because I know you've been there since the beginning. So thank you, mate. Welcome to the show. I've got to see, what does that say? Content creator and Kersley Motorsport driver. Luca, I'm going to start briefly with you because you, Kersley Motorsport, have got quite a few drivers out this weekend.
Yes, we've got, I think we've got 4 drivers, and Alex has expanded the team throughout the whole season. So it's nice to see the series receiving new drivers, popping up to try and see what club racing is like. And I'm happy to see Alex that can share his knowledge with other people joining the team.
Absolutely. I mean, the one that I'm looking forward to seeing is, what's his name? Ed McDermott, who I think I've commentated racing GTs as well.
Yes, he's joining us this weekend. I think I haven't met Ed personally. We've just messaged on the group chat for the team in the past days, but I believe that he's trying to be humble and he's going to be much quicker than he wants us to expect him to be.
Yeah, I'd agree. He has done that, hasn't he? But in fairness, is that the car's new to him and the circuit's new to him. Yes. So it's a big ask. But in fairness, the circuit's new to you as well, isn't it, Luca?
Yes, this is the first time ever that I actually race at Castle Combe today. I'm gonna have to say I tested with Alex. We were out there, and like many other circuits in the UK, it surprised me because it's genuinely one of my new favorite circuits here in the UK, and I love it.
That's what they're going to love you for saying that, mate. You know it. The viewers are going to adore that one. I mean, Wayne, on your side of things, it's not your first time at Combe, or is it?
Yeah, my first time at Combe as well. Never been before.
Wow, okay, because I lost track. Because what did we have someone say earlier? 2016, I think. So actually, that was slightly before your time, I guess, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was before I joined the series in 17. So I've never been there before.
Wow, okay. I mean, this is an exciting showdown. We've got you two guys on because it was just absolutely perfect, because it's not a championship officially. It is a series, but there is a crown goes to the driver that wins the most races. And if it's even, it sort of works its way back. You and Luca have both got 4 race wins apiece.
Yeah, that's it. but he's got the edge because he's got a few more podiums.
Right. Okay. So if we go backwards, that's the way
Yeah.
that one's going to work. But you haven't done the full season, though, have you?
No, I've done 2 rounds so far. So Luca's still yet to beat me, and he knows he's going to have a hard time Saturday.
Although, from what we were talking about earlier, you sold your car and you're coming out in someone else's, so it's not even your car that you're going out in. That's going to make it interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a Gen 2, so it should still be fairly the same as what I'm used to. But essentially, I've never sat in it before, and I've never been a Combe. But as long as we're having fun, it is what it is. And
you didn't test today, did you? You know, just rubbing it in, Luca.
I've got 20 minutes in qualifying to test.
Yeah.
That's usually enough for you, mate.
Yeah.
I know, I can imagine. I know that feeling. I mean, certainly we've got plenty of support has been coming out for you guys. I went past a couple of messages because it was the timing was wrong. Yeah, Sheila Kersley obviously said it. I think 1 or 2 others. Apologies, guys. That there's so many comments in. It's difficult to keep up. But Tim Perry, one of our Orange Army, says, "Be nice to see you guys. Been following the OTP Coupes on the Bark TV streams all season." I'll come back to that in a second because Martin Rumenov Yanchev, Luca, keep your head low, give your best, and win this race, brother. Yeah.
Thank you, man.
And Tim says makes it more fun, Sir Rocket. So plenty of love. I mean, you, by the sounds of it, attempted to escape, but it's just sucked you back in again. That's how much fun these cars are.
Yeah. If you ask many other people around the series about my retirements, you'll get a colourful reply. So we've retired a couple of times, but then I'll just go back for 1 or 2 and end up doing the whole season.
Yeah. The big question is, does that mean we get plenty of retirement parties as well then?
I think everyone's fed up with the retirement parties now. So it's just a case of retiring for the winter and then coming back in the summer.
Fair enough. Well, it's getting biased now. The needles are out. Sheila Kersley, who in fairness runs the Luca car, says, "Good luck to Wayne and Luca. May the best man win, but maybe a bit more for Luca. Sorry, Wayne."
I'll still be sitting in their gazebo, don't worry, eating their food and drinking their drinks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we wait for you, Uncle Wayne. You're always welcome.
Yeah, I love it. The OTP Coupe Cup with Toyo Tires themselves said everyone is welcome to come and see the OT Coupe Cup with Toyo Tires cars and meet the drivers in the paddock on Saturday. And I do encourage it. Come and see them all. I know, quite well personally the likes of Darren Ford and Mark Jones. And I know Darren's had some great results this year, really come through. And it looks like, would it be fair to say, Wayne, that it's a forgiving car? So it's not right to say an easy car, but it's a forgiving car. I think with our cars, I think that the key thing to our cars, if you're fairly confident, you should be on the pace pretty quickly. They're not a difficult car to drive, but they are incredibly fun. Yeah.
So it's a good series to get into if you just want a bit of fun. If you're not overly confident, you can build up on your pace before you get into something faster. But they're definitely good fun.
Well, when I consider that the likes of Darren Ford, or Banana Man as I call him, and Mark Jones, don't ask, and Mark Jones came from Caterham Racing, which we know how exciting that is, and they're having an absolute ball in this. And Chris Savage, who I know from their Caterham days as well, is talking about joining you guys with a bit of luck next season. I was hoping he would be here for this race, but maybe next season. It goes to show how much fun they are. Castle Combe Racing Club themselves saw them today and the cars looked good. So that's interesting. This is an interesting one. I'm going to switch this around. Luca, what's this about? And sign Luca's car.
Oh, fair enough. So I am known in the paddock because I've got my car full of signatures on the bonnet and on the sides. This comes from the fact that, my helmet is full of signatures too. And I decided to try to translate it. So whenever I have kids, families, marshals coming around and grabbing a coffee in Kersley Hospitality, I always give them a marker, some of my hats, my merchandise, and I ask them to leave some words. And it makes the kids' day. When I was younger, I wish I could have got these clothes and, fiddle, jump, sit into the driver's seat just for fun. And unfortunately, it's not that easy, because we all know that race cars can be expensive, or just fixing stuff can be expensive. These ones in particular, unfortunately, are not. But yeah, I've tried to give back to the kids what got me into racing, because the people that basically created my love for motorsport were the people that allowed me to feel, and be in the garages. So whenever I have somebody that I can see is looking around and would like to get closer to the cars, it's always welcome to come and sign up and jump on and try it out.
It's one of the things that I do, because I, through one of my other companies, Open Doors Training, I provide presentation skills and media training for sports people. And it's one of the key things I always say is that remember you as the youngster, as a fan walking in, is that they're looking at you, not just the kids, in fairness, a lot of the adults do as well, looking at you at the gladiators that are out there on the circuit doing these amazing things. The difficulty is it's not down to arrogance. It's down to the fact they go, yeah, but I'm just me and I'm just out having some fun and doing the hobby. And it's like, no, think about what you look like to those guys. Give them that time. And so I applaud and agree wholeheartedly with what you're saying. I think it's a great touch, and it keeps the community together, doesn't it?
Yes, and for me, it's the legacy that it leaves to kids, because everybody in any club, in any racing, giving space to people that are investing their money and their time to come and see club racing, it's changing their life most of the time. Not in some major stuff, but being able to feel that you can participate to motorsport. It's one of those things that if I couldn't receive in my life, I wouldn't be here today. It's thanks to the people that involved me that I'm here today, and I'm fighting with Wayne for the championship.
And I do love it that Tim Perry, one of our marshals, says, I'm definitely doing that first thing Saturday. So that's going to be one of the marshals. Jamie Peters Ennis says, have seen the Coupes on a couple of occasions at Thruxton and have always provided fabulous racing. Castle Combe would be perfect for them. Proper slipstream action.
It's a personally, Thruxton, I know it's Uncle Way's home circuit, so I'm going to try to be as candid as I can. I'm more into bank corners and like long, swift corners, so such as Donington, Cadwell, and stuff. But Thruxton, for our cars in the specific, it's one of the best circuits for fighting and battling, which I think it makes for a great spectacle for the people coming to watch the event. But all of us at Thruxton event, we jump off the cars after our battles, and we're all super happy of how much fun we have. It's a very fast circuit, and it's one of our best events in the calendar, to be honest. Although I'm not a big fan of the circuit layout and stuff. But yeah.
Well, Uncle Wayne, as I think I heard said there.
Yes.
Would you agree with that from a Thruxton perspective then?
Yeah, I mean, I love Thruxton anyway. Local, always done well there. Just love the atmosphere there. We generally support the British trucks, which is for a little club series like ourselves, when we get to support a series like the trucks and we go out in front of 15, 20, 25,000 people, it's pretty special. And the truck weekend is always a good one.
I think as well that probably throws up that I think you're going to enjoy Castle Combe a lot then, because the if you take the speed element, is it's a real grip it and rip it kind of circuit at Castle Combe, and I think the cars are going to go well, and you're probably going to enjoy it, I reckon, by the sounds of it. Well,
give me 20 minutes and I'll let you know on Saturday morning.
Yeah, I'll ask you after qualifying. That's fair enough. I can't disagree with you there. Joe Hathaway says, evening all, good luck to everyone Saturday. Sorry I'm missing it. Currently getting some sun in Cyprus.
Enjoy, mate.
No, don't say that, Luca. We can fall out. Duncan Harris says, Luca, spot on. We do the same at Mazda Miata. I commentated on you guys at Alton Park last Saturday, the Mazda Miata Championship. Let the kids look and sit in the race cars. Absolutely. Right. So in terms of this race then, the double header, Wayne, you know that if you win one of the races, if you win the first one, you're taking it down to that second one. How do you tackle this weekend?
No pressure, literally just going out and having some fun.
Yes, there is.
I'll go out, do my best, and see what happens with it. It's obviously we're going to win. We always go to win. I don't go to make up the numbers. Yeah, 20 minutes qualifying. I'm confident the car's going to be good. I've watched a few YouTube videos of Castle Combe, so what more can I do?
No, I agree. Well, I mean, going back to that, and I'm going to ask both of you the same thing. Give us an insight what your racing CV looks like.
So if I start off, for me, I did nothing until 2017 when I joined the Coupe Cup. A little bit of, did occasional oval racing, nothing much. Had fast road cars, but never did any track days. And then a friend of mine introduced me to the Coupe Cup, and that's where I've been since. 'Cause it's just a nice, friendly atmosphere, and we can have a nice, chilled out weekend there. We haven't got to go and be super race driver for the weekend. We can be dad, granddad, son, and just relax and have some fun with the family.
Absolutely, and I think that's such a huge testament to the series. Tim Perry says, Wayne, you're talking to Mr. Dawes here, and what I think he's referring to is the fact that I won't let there be no pressure. I'm about the drama. I'm about the soap opera. You know, as a commentator, that's what I've got to do. We've got to pick this up. So,
like I say, if Luca wins race 1, it's done. It's wrapped up. Luca gets it.
Of course,
There's still race 2, Uncle Wayne. You can still get me. You already done it in the past, so.
Well,
but on the back count, you see, you've got more podiums, Lucas.
Yeah, you've got more podiums. So if you win race 1, you have got it. I've got to stop you winning race 1.
Well, let's flick that round then, Luca. So there you go. The both of us are ganging up on you and putting pressure on you now that it's all about race 1. But you can take it the other way that says it's not the pressure on, because if you don't do it in race 1, you know that race 2 is sufficient. So I've got to play devil's advocate here.
I think that pressure-wise, I'm feeling much more relaxed than the way I went into Thruxton, because I know Wayne, it's dominant on that circuit. So for me going into Thruxton, I sort of wanted to stamp myself on the front of his cars as finally beating him on the same circuit together. But for this race in particular, I was a bit worried about the layout of the Castle Combe Circuit, because it doesn't suit specifically the chassis of the Gen 3s, which are the newest form of car that I'm racing. While after testing and simulating on the circuit, I am very confident of the possibilities of the car. But also, it's not just about me winning the first race. We've got other drivers in the Kersley team, such as Mark Rida, which are, I think they're local to this circuit, and they spent a lot of time testing here. And they've been on the podium for, I'd say, at least 50% of the races this year. So it might go, me and Wayne are going to just fight each other in the back of the grid while everybody else goes for a win. Maybe Johnny's going to win too. In the past 2 or 3 races, Johnny has done very well compared to the past year. So, as I said, I have no pressure, because whatever happens, I'm incredibly happy of the little piece of club racing history that we're writing this weekend, the rookie against the experienced. And the odds are pretty fair, I'm not going to lie. Wayne is a fast driver. This circuit, I'm telling you, Uncle Wayne, you're going to love it. But on the other hand, there are other situations that are more on my favor. So I'm relaxed. I just want to get it done so we can party afterwards, whatever happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Tim says, oh, the gauntlet has been thrown down. Yeah, I might have stirred that one up a little bit there. Oops. But there we go. You mentioned Johnny, for example, and that, of course, is, and I'm going to come back to you, Luca, about your racing experience. But first of all, Wayne, speak to us about Johnny. That's your son, isn't it? And he's had race wins this year as well.
Yeah, so Johnny started with me beginning of the 2021 season. And he's clearly got a bit of a natural talent. Like I'm sure most people would agree. He took the first year to calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
The second year was tougher because of the extra drivers that were at the top, making it hard for him. This year he's returned in a different car, and he's gone incredibly well. And his driving has been very, very much improved. His, defence and just track positioning is much better. And he's definitely got the speed. No doubt about it, he's got the speed. It's just a case of being a young lad with little experience. But yeah, he had a podiums with me at Thruxton, both races. and then he managed to clinch his first win at Silverstone a few weeks ago, which was pretty good.
How old is he?
He's just turned 19 now.
Oh wow, okay, fair dues. So that's
similar to me. He had never done anything before. He started when he was 16 in 2021. So he's jumped in the deep end and he's made it work and he's done very well.
Well, just so people know as well, because if you go to ccracingclub.co.uk and go to the calendar and select this event, all the entry lists are there. But the good news is we've got 2 additions to that entry list, and that is Ed McDermott that we've already talked about, that is a GT racer that will be out in one of the Kersley cars. And Roger Owens has been added to the list as well. So that's good. We have lost, bizarrely, and Luca, you might know the answer to this, because I've got on my list that John Winter, who I believe was at the circuit today testing, has withdrawn.
I am not sure. I've seen John today. We spent some time together, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't testing. He was just helping us out, and Paul Laurie testing. I think that the only reason why John is not participating into this event is because he's organizing plans for next year for other drivers, and I believe somebody already expressed interest in his really nice Gen 3 car, which is the only reason why I think drop out. But yeah, I've seen John today, and no, he wasn't testing to
and again confirm that John has withdrawn indeed.
Yeah.
Sheila Kersey says, haha, just see Alex Kersley on his knees.
Come on, camera. Come on, camera.
Yeah.
I'm saying hi, everybody. I've seen you already.
Hi, Alex.
He can't hear anything, so wait, let me try to give him one of my headphones. There we go.
Hi, Alex.
Hey, how are you doing? All right?
Sheila's the one that's grassed you up, I'm afraid, mate.
Yeah, I spied myself. What, who's that geezer on the side there? Yeah, so yeah, I thought I'd come and see what all the noise is about. How you doing, Wayne? All right?
Yeah, all right, mate. Good.
Yeah, you all
So
set?
you run the Kersley Motorsport team, yeah?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Good man.
Yeah,
And you got extra drivers this weekend.
Yeah, we've got 4 in total. Couple of new ones, obviously Luca as well. Mark Ridout, he's going to be helping us out, try and sort Wayne out. Yeah, so I've got a lot on my plate this weekend. I've just had to have a nap. He's tired me out today, so
you had a nap until you heard someone on the TV, didn't you, basically?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Quiet Luca.
Super quiet. Nobody knows that I'm in the paddock when I show up to the events.
I know. I think Snetterton, was the last time I commentated on you guys, and yes, you were certainly a character then, Luca.
It's all part of the spectacle.
So going back to you, Luca, I asked the question already of Wayne. You know, you're new on the scene in this, but what have you done prior to the to this series?
I've done a couple of years of BUKC Club 100, which is arrive and drive 2-stroke rental karting, and it's been great for me because that was the first touch of motorsport that I had in my life. I came to the UK to study, and I personally never thought that growing up in Italy and the area where I was, that I could ever get close to motorsport. And I got invited to participate to a university championship, the BUKC.
Yeah.
I found myself to be pretty quick, started to develop my first partnerships and my first sponsorships, such as Forza Performance. And then from there on, I decided one day I told myself, I've got some budget. Let me try to do Enduro KA, because it was in my budget at the time, and it was a huge amount of track time. Then once I started to get the first results, the first podium that we got, I decided to myself, okay, if I can do that and I can be consistent and competitive without being a danger, I want to do something that appeals me a bit more. And I remember seeing this guy with one of the Coupes at Silverstone for the Burkett Relay. And I just remember thinking, this looks super cool. It sounds amazing because our cars do sound really good.
Yep.
But then it did look like something that I had the speed to be able to learn, because some cars can be quite a big step up for drivers. So I said to myself, this looks like something that I could try and see if I'm competitive. And rented Gen 1 of Alex in 2022. And out of the box, our first race together, it was P2 and P1. So I decided, yeah, let's see how it goes. And this year, I'm scratching Wayne's back, hopefully trying to snitch the championship, sorry, the series win for 2023.
Oh, well, I mean, that sounds amazing. And it's great to hear that you had a crack in the Enduro KA or Enduro car. I commentated on one at Alton Park last Saturday, and I've done a few. They're so much fun, and it's something that's driving me to go and get my racing license because I fancy giving them a go. They look bonkers fun.
Do your race in the Enduro KA and then come join us in the Coupes, because
Absolutely.
a little bit more kick is really nice, really nice.
Absolutely. The problem is that I get paid to be at circuits every weekend, different circuits, commentating. So the wife's got to I've got to justify it to Mrs. Dawes yet. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Listen, guys, it's really genuinely has been an absolute treat to have you on. Oh, just quickly, by the way, is that Luca, they put pressure on you. Just to add some pressure to Luca, has he been practicing his starts today? There's a story there.
So basically, I am known because I get off the starting line in roughly 3 to 4 working days. Yeah. I only practice rolling starts all my life. Club 100 is rolling starts. The same goes for Enduro PA.
Yeah.
So I'm just a granny off the line. You can watch all the live streams. I'm getting better. Silverstone, I finally nailed it, and same goes for Anglesey. But yeah. I did practice my starts, so yeah, we will see on Saturday.
Well, listen, best of luck, Luca and Wayne. Thank you so much for coming on, especially Wayne. Thank you for your patience, mate. I appreciate it. But it meant at least you knew how it was going to work, so it put your mind at rest, I think. So. Luca is at the B&B ready for Saturday's race. So thank you so much for, and thank you to the B&B for having good enough Wi-Fi for you to be able to do this as well. You were a bit worried, weren't you? You didn't know.
I was a bit scared. Usually I end up in some lost cottages in the forest. So thank you so much for having me, and thank for the Wi-Fi. So. Yes,
exactly. And Martin Rumenov Yanchev says, Luca, good luck. Love you, brother.
Thank you, man. I love you, man.
One of the Orange Army, Tim Perry, says, good luck, guys. See you Saturday morning. Genuinely, I'm going to hopefully get a chance before, because we don't commentate until the racing starts. So hopefully in the morning, I'll pop round and say hello to you guys. But Wayne, best of luck. Luca, best of luck. And may the best man win.
Thank you so much. Come sign the car on Saturday. See you on Saturday, Uncle Wayne. Bring your A game and come sign the car whenever you guys want.
Fabulous. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Have a good.
Absolutely love those guys as well. So cool to come on. Wicked. And I don't know about you, but I'm even more excited about the races now. So it is 4 wins apiece this year. And the driver with the most wins the series. It basically is the way it's done. Right. Goodness me. Where has the time gone? Thank you for the comments that are still coming in. We've already done that one. Dave Baggy Malpass, hello mate. Good evening, Chris. Look forward to Saturday. Got a taste today in the medical centre. Oh wow! So hopefully I can do it proud as a marshal. Good man, thank you. And hopefully I'll steer clear of the medical centre this time and just stay up in the hot commentary box. I missed them; they've already gone. But Vic Hope says good luck, mate. So there we go. Right, I'm now going to bring on another guest, and actually it's our last guest of this show, and that is because he follows the Mighty Minis round. And so he's got the greater knowledge than me. Good evening, Craig. You all right, mate?
Well, I was until you mentioned that precise information there. That was a bit scary. How are you, mate? You all right?
I'm good now, mate. I'm all good. It's all fantastic. I know what I need. I can do, can't do, can do less of, and do more of. So it's all good. It's all good, mate. Thank you.
Great to see you well as well, mate. Obviously saw your Brands Hatch, so yeah, it was great to see you. That's going from everyone. I'm sure everyone's the same as well. So yeah, great to see you back, mate.
Bless you. Thank you, mate. Thank you very much. It feels like an age ago now, bizarrely, but it's not something I plan to repeat. I can assure you it was not fun. Because we, and Tim Perry says, hey, Craig.
Hi, Tim.
Because me and you obviously caught up at Minifest at Brands Hatch, but you've been following the Mighty Minis, obviously, around the country for this one. And bizarrely, considering Castle Combe Racing Club administers the Mighty Minis, it's the first time that we've had you at the circuit this year. So we're looking forward to this one. And that means, Craig, that championships are about to be decided.
Indeed.
If I say, get us up to speed on this, am I stitching you up by asking that, or are you up to speed?
No, I've got pieces of paper in front of me, so we can go through it if you want. That's absolutely fine.
Go for it, mate.
Right, here we go then. So we have Nevin has to finish in the top 3 in the first race. So there's a deficit of 41.6 points. Obviously, you get the 10% if you use your joker on one of the rounds.
This is the super, isn't it? The super.
That's correct. Yeah, that's the super Mighty Minis. Yeah. So Nevin Kirkpatrick, weirdly enough, at Donington, he retired for the first time in I can't even tell you how long ago. It's very weird. He's had a full engine rebuild as far as I know, and a gearbox. So that's been done by the Slark team, Ryan, Ian, Neil, Leon. They've all just been flat out working on it and done a super job. Sorry, I'm a bit bunged up today. I'm just recovering from my cold. So, but yeah, absolutely brilliant job. Got the car up and running. So hopefully we should see Nevin win the championship. But his brother has been putting him on his paces the whole series, and it's been absolutely fantastic. And if you've managed to catch up with any of the live races, you could probably tell that I was losing my cool quite a lot of times. Very Murray Walker-esque at half the races we were at, but it was really exciting stuff, and it hasn't really finished out as it should do, because really we were hoping, Nevin should have won it then, but it hasn't worked out that way, and Dave's now got an opportunity to finish second in the championship. But however, 7.6 points behind is Steve Rideout, who hasn't had a win all season. So he hasn't had a win all championship. So he's looking to win at Castle Combe. And I shouldn't say that, but I really want to see that Dayglow yellow Octane racing car on that podium. I want to see him holding that first place trophy and waving it along, going, "I've done it." So he really does deserve it. But I think we're going to see Nevin probably win it in the first race, but anything can happen, as we've always said in motorsport. Commentators curse and all.
No, it is, and so clearly that people have been following this. Mark Ditchburn, one of the racers in the Super Mighty Minis, 8th in the championship at the moment, says, "Hi, Craig, see you soon." And Tracy Thompson Racer says, "Hi, Craig, looking forward to seeing you all at the weekend. Good luck, everyone."
It was great to see them, actually, Chris, because that was the first time we've seen Tracy Thompson's racing car out this whole championship. And to be fair, Mark was on it. He obviously was on pole for the second race with the reverse grid, but he was with the guys the whole time. So it's good to see he's still got that fight in his belly. So I'm pretty sure he was on the list for. I'm just going to check that actually for this race this weekend. So yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff from him.
I got a flick to the right.
Relate that actually.
I should have flicked already, but there's a lot.
No, you're right. Yeah, he is racing. Yeah, he is racing. Yeah, he's there. So there's we got 6 supers and we got 14 Mighty Minis. So looking forward to that. Yeah, very interesting. And we've seen so many times, haven't we, mate? As they come back round again, the supers start catching those Mighty Minis. That sort of gets a little bit interesting.
It does. I mean, everyone loves classic mini racing. There's no question. John Creech says, "Never write off Mr. Steve Rideout. Both Steve and Lynn Jones Rideout do so much for the series."
They do, massively.
Two distinct comments is that, yes, I agree, never write off Mr. Rideout. Unless it's at the bar. Then you can. Hey, Steve, I don't know. I just went for something that would just wind you up.
You're probably right. Yeah, you're probably
right. So that's the Super Mighty Minis. What about the Mighty Minis? From what I was hearing, that is crazy close.
Oh, well, where do you start? I mean, Ollie Soundways, I'm calling him the smooth operator. I've never seen anybody drive a Mighty Mini the way that he does. He's so involved in that car. It's unreal. He drives it so smooth. And everyone else, I spoke to Will Burnham and he's saying, "I think I'm driving this too aggressively because I've just seen Ollie Soundways go past me like I'm a snail." And it's like, well, he was doing, when we were watching him through at Donington and he was giving me some information, I was like, oh, so that's what he's doing. And obviously, I can't tell everyone that. I'm sorry, Mighty Mini drivers, but I've got to keep it secret. But it was amazing how he was driving this car. It was beautiful to watch. I mean, yeah, okay, they're a mini. You're supposed to drive them off the rails and everything, but he was driving it in a way that you're going to win, and that's I can't really put it in any other way. It was absolutely special to watch, and obviously he crashed out. Well, he went off the track, didn't he, at Brands Hatch, and he had a DNF, and that changed everything because that was his second DNF as well. With Ben Butler obviously closing the gap up, getting second places. Well, I think he's got 6, I think, if I remember rightly. He has 4 wins in 4 seconds. So that's put him only, was it 20? I think it was 20 points away, 25.2 points away. So technically, if Ollie wins the race and gets fastest lap, he will then have to win or just finish the race in the second race and he'll win the championship, basically. So it really depends on what happens in that first race. So if Ben Butler does manage to get in front of him and Ollie Sandways doesn't have the best of races and drops back a bit, or we're going to have a cracking second race in the afternoon.
Well, John Creech again, and I know he loves his Mighty Minis. He says Ben and Ollie side by side constantly in the first race at Brands was epic, and that was at Minifest presumably.
Yeah.
I'm also hoping for another battle round between Susie Inch and James Jenkins, who have been battling all year with each other, which has been a highlight.
Yeah, it has, and that sort of love loss is now. You know, they were holding hands, but they've sort of broken away now. And James Jenkins has thought, I don't want to hold Susie's hand. I want to hold Ben's hand. And that's what's happening. He's sort of now joined the Ben-Ollie Soundways battle, which was, again, at Donny was fantastic. And seeing the likes of, previous 750, Mini Sevens racer, James Bryan, who was unbelievable. And there's a bit of footage, I think, going around at the moment where he's overtaken 2 cars round McLean's and then through Coppice. It was like one of the best moves I've seen, and it was unbelievable to watch. And that was his 4th race, and he nearly got on the podium. Just an incident in the final lap. He went off the track after a little slight incident, but managed to bounce back and finish in 4th place. But it was incredible. Unfortunately, he's had an operation, and we won't have him this weekend. So, but he's rooting for everyone anyway.
Okay, well, I mean, Tim Perry makes the comment, hey, Castle Combe has its surprises. And that's a key thing for this. It will change things dramatically.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen, haven't we, Chris? You know, when we've been commentating, I remember, commentating across the way from Martin Bennett when you decided to leave the room. It was quite funny. And changed, I think it was about, over the 20 minutes, it must have been about 10 or 11 times. Probably more, actually. Because we know as they go from camp all the way up to quarry, it's Slipstream City, and it's a brick in front of in the way of the wind. So it just literally just shuts off, doesn't it? There's just nothing it can do, and then everyone just piles in behind and goes, "Do you know what? I'm going to go left or right." And we know quarry's renowned for its incredible cornering, and it's a very daunting corner. And you have to make sure you're committed or you're not, because if you're not committed, you can end up, in the gravel traps. So yeah, it's unbelievable.
And it's a big old challenge from a commentary perspective, because both of them race together with, from memory, a slight delay on the start for the Mighties, and we end up having 2 races to call somehow.
Yeah,
that
it's
are
usually
both as sort of like demanding of our time as each other.
Yeah, because there's a 2 grid space. I think it is. I think there's 2 rows separating them both, but they go off at the same time. But they usually lap. I mean, they lap quite fast round. And obviously you haven't seen the new modifications that have you, because obviously new cams have been put in, and also rockers. So that's all been changed for this year. So now they've bumped up the supers to 105 brake horsepower, so they're nearly punching 115 mile an hour. So they're going slightly quicker. I think it's 3 seconds faster now. Yeah, it's quite mental. So yeah, it's incredible, and you'll see now, because obviously there's more straights. Yes, the track is a little bit shorter than Donington Park, but because of that output they're bringing out, they're just going to disappear into the distance. They might lap even twice maybe. We just don't know what's going to happen in those 20 minutes, depending on what happens with the 14 Mighty Minis behind having their battles, you see. So
Well, exactly, and I mean that might sort of grab a lot of our time as well. John Creech said, "Would love to see James win a race. He's been a great addition to the series and has
Oh,
progressed well as a driver." But is that the
yeah.
one you said's not here this weekend? Was that
No,
one?
James
No.
Jenkins, that is. He was our rookie champion last year, and he finished second in the championship last year. He's looking to finish third this year. He pretty much has it in the bag.
Yeah,
Depending, obviously, again with this next race, because I think it's like 29 points from him to Graham Shepherd. And another one you've got to think about, Graham Shepherd. He had the accident in qualifying last year. And then he had the incident in race 2, and obviously that car was written off, so he had to rebuild a new car from scratch and get it out for this year, and he has done so, and he's raced in pretty much every single race. So he's looking to get rid of those demons and look really quick. And I think he was testing with Steve Rideout yesterday, so I'm not too sure if anyone saw any Mighty Minis out on track.
not sure. I think I saw Graham Shepherd comment earlier, so he might, whether he still is, he certainly was watching earlier, so it would be great to see that one. So Ollie Samways, Ben Butler, James Jenkins, Graham Shepherd, William Berman and Susie Inch are your top 6 in the Mighty Minis Championship. Nev Kirkpatrick, David Kirkpatrick, Steve Rideout, Stuart Coombs, Greg Jenkins and Ian Slarkey, your top 6 in the Super Mighty Minis. And of course, we've got obviously one qualifying session, a 15-minute qualifying session, and then 2 20-minute races. I mean, they're a good length, really, aren't they? 20 minutes.
Yeah, we get some coverage, don't we? I mean,
Yeah.
and just because it's that extra 5 minutes than most of the races at the Castle Combe Racing Club, it does it does bring in that the concept of obviously having the supers coming back round again to have a have a chop at the Mighty Minis and carve their way through. So it does make the racing, as we've seen so many times, it makes it very, very interesting, because it's that opportunity there where if you're leading that supers race, this is the part where you need to really work on your A game and make sure you clear them quickly and in the right places, because you really don't want to catch them through the chicanes, because obviously they're not going to let you go, because that's that they're going to have priority. Because they've got to get through as like everybody else. So you really need to grab them on the straights, and that's going to be the win or lose situation. So
yeah, they're having their own race. They're not expected to suddenly jump out of the way. Tim makes a
Exactly.
good comment as well. Slipstream all the way. No one wants to be at the front until the last lap, really. Let's go later than that. Last corner of the last lap.
Yeah,
It's a big challenge. I mean, maybe Tower, being the lead there, you maybe have got it done. But even coming into camp, you could potentially make a lunge. Guess the only challenge is that they probably don't scrub off as much speed as maybe some of the other cars through that final corner. So there isn't a definitive breaking point to be able
that's
to
right.
lunge.
Yeah, I mean, so really, you want to be close as you can through Tower up to Bobby's. You really want to be right on the rear, on that chrome bumper, to the point where you're
Yeah.
actually buying the chrome bumper for the guy in front. You need to be that close, and that just thinking about that is going to be amazing. So if you get a
It
good
is.
exit speed off Bobby's, well, you've seen yourself, we're always lit up when we watch them go round, and it's been like that for
They,
the whole season. So it's been
They
amazing.
they're epic, and even down to daft things. And I know I say it invariably is that I adore the minis when they look like, and they go around a corner, and that rear wheel on the inside looks like a dog cocking its leg to have a wee. That's what I always say, and I've remembered that since I was a 5-year-old watching up at Quarry Corner, and I adore that look. Graham has commented,
Brilliant.
and he's wound you up. He wasn't testing on Wednesday; it was a little wind up.
He actually did put on testing at Monaco, so I think everyone's like, Monaco. We thought he just made a mistake and it was supposed to be Castle Combe. Graham
And he did
Shepherd, I
say
hate
good
you.
evening, Craig. So
Evening,
he did.
buddy. He's got
Uh,
me. He's got
he
me.
has. Steve Rideout says, "Bring it on! Can't wait! Roll on race day." Amen to that. We think that as well.
Yeah,
And
definitely,
see,
mate.
Tim Perry knows what I'm talking about. A dog cocking its leg for a Jimmy Riddle. That is the great thing of them. I mean, it's your final round of the season as well. It's our grand finals day, but it is your final round. It looks like it's been a cracking season.
It is, mate. It's been phenomenal. The battles in the mid pack have even been good. Chris Didcott came into this, last year quite far back. This year was battling, and he got a couple of podiums. At Silverstone, he got on. He was there. We've had Greg Jenkins, who was flying again, another one at Silverstone. Missed him a couple of times, and he was racing at Anglesey, and he was really on point. And he hasn't been around due to his dad being ill, and we do hope he's okay because we've not heard from him since. So, but yeah, it's just been up and down season, and you know, some of those people you wanting to get on the podium just haven't had that opportunity to do so. But there is a couple of people that I just want to mention because two of the drivers that we got Adrian Tuckley and also Simon Tuckley, previous Mighty Mini racers as well. I think it was Simon's the dad, and AD also has driven in the 24-hour Mini Grand as well. So also AD will be driving his dad's Mini that hasn't been out for 7 years. So he was driving that from was it 2007 all the way up to 2017. So that's going to be really cool. And also James Linford, who's driving one of the supers. Now he's had a super and he built one in 2010 and had a couple of podiums in it and hasn't raced since then in the supers. But he has been in the Mighty Minis Championship from 2006 to 2009. And he came second in the Mighty Minis Championship. So he'll be another one to watch out for.
Is that James Lyford?
James Lyford, that's right, yeah.
Right, yeah.
And obviously, I just watched some footage from 2011 and I've seen his dad racing against AD Tuckley, which was absolutely fantastic. And you see the novice sticker and he was not giving in. So if James is anything like his dad, it's going to be a cracking racer for the supers as well. So, but yeah, it's been a very good. Oh, I broke my phone. It's been a very fantastic season. It's been a joy. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I just want to thank Castle Combe Racing Circuit for all they've done for me as well. Because you know, without you guys, it's just been superb. It really has. Thank you very much.
The other amuse-bouche for this really is that you guys are race number 2 and race number 9 of the 13 race program. It's just jam-packed. 13 races, incredible. It's the grid walk, is the Mighty Minis as well. So the lunchtime grid walk is that everybody, as long as the weather's okay, which we're told is going to be great, and as long as there's no delays in the morning, we'll have a lunch break and the Mighty Minis will be gridded up out there. And as soon as they're in place, that the fans can go and have a little wander, and we'll probably go and grab a word with a couple of the drivers out there. That's cool as well, isn't it?
Oh, mate, that's, you know, we haven't had that yet, and it's an absolute honour. I mean, honestly, it's going to be fantastic because they can then, even though they can go into the paddock and go close to the cars, but they can actually get onto the track, talk to the drivers, sit in the cars. They're not going to be afraid to just say, you know, get in the car, take some photos with the drivers. If there's a certain car you like, just get involved. I mean, we do ask everyone to just go and get involved, you know, especially people that are interested in driving in Mighty Minis. You know, they're cheap, affordable. They're easy to run. You know, obviously parts are getting a little bit more difficult, but we can get through it. You know, it's really, really interesting to get everyone involved. But yeah, the grid walk is going to be superb. I'm really, really excited about that bit.
No, agreed. Well, Craig Cook, you'll be coming on, and in fairness, you'll be taking over the mic once we get to the Mighty Minis. I shall hand.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Hand the gauntlet over, and you can do that. It'll be Clive Woodward will be over in the second commentary box, so you'll be covering those particular races because you know the drivers, you know what's going on, so it makes sense, and I know that you enjoy doing that. So we shall hand over and leave that one to you. So. In which case, for now, thank you so much for joining us, Craig. And I know that you were very patient there watching all of that from the background. So thank you for your patience.
Great, mate. Always watch it. No worries.
And thank you for the updates. And we shall see you on Saturday.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone. Take care. Have a nice night.
Enjoy it, mate. So thank you for all of our guests. Sadly, we haven't got any guests from our local championships, not for the want of trying, but they're either ill, dealing with something, or what I love is that they're also under a lot of pressure to get the championships decided this weekend, and they didn't want to tempt fate. So I've said to them, don't panic, guys. What we'll do is we'll do some interviews after championships have been wrapped up, and we'll catch up with them. Don't forget, drivers and your families, get your tickets to the awards due Saturday, the 18th of November at Future Inns in the centre of Bristol. Get your tickets, get along. Even if you're not necessarily in the top 3 of your classes or your championship, come along, for goodness sake. It's such a cool party, and it's really good to see you all there. And we'll enjoy seeing as many of you as possible. I shall be hosting that, which is, again, a huge honour to be able to do that one. In terms of our local championships, let me rattle through it to some extent, because I'm conscious I've been keeping you for a long time on this wonderful Thursday evening, and I've got to go and host the Castle Combe Racing School really early tomorrow. So we start off the action, all race action. Race number 1 is the Formula 4 Championship. And at the moment, it really is between Felix Fischer and Luke Cooper. Felix won the championship last year, and he wants to make it a defence. He wants to make it 2 on the bounce. He got the monkey off his back last year and secured it. And I know that it meant an awful lot to him. And at the moment, he sits at the top. Luke Cooper wants to make it 3. But it's 200 points for Felix Fischer at the moment, 189 for Luke Cooper. But that doesn't necessarily tell the tale at the moment, because there's drop scores to come into it and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. Ben Mitchell sat there in 3rd overall on 173 points. All 3 of those, he says, just making sure, are here this weekend to do battle. It would help if I got to the correct page a bit quicker. There we go. So in Class A, Felix Fischer, Luke Cooper, Vincent J, Tom Hawkins, Steve Billett, Barnaby Simmons, Tom Radburn, Lucas Romanek's back. He's sat there 3rd in Class A series at the championship fight at the moment, 4th overall in his first year at Castle Combe. Good to see that he's back here. Alicia Hamlin, although I'm sure that keeps changing and that'll be a Class D car, but we'll wait and see. It's showing us a Class A car. Ben Mitchell, Bob Hawkins. I'm determined to get Bob Hawkins on a show, because not that many people know that he also races drag cars as well. So we'll be good to catch up with him on that one. Jack Sullivan in the Team USA Ammonite Motorsport, and Ayrton Hook. And I was reading an article on Ayrton Hook, and these 2 youngsters that are coming over on this US scholarship, ready to race at the Walter Hayes and the Formula Ford Festival, and they start doing a bit of racing in the cars with Ammonite Motorsport. Now, traditionally, they've turned around and said they're not going to take points away. But I loved Goose, one of the Corey Hardcore, his comment that's saying these very promising, you know, some of these drivers that come on this Team USA scholarship, they are drivers that we can, you know, have potentially big careers ahead of them. You might suddenly see them pop up in IndyCar or even more, who knows. So they're always really exciting to have a look at, but it doesn't mean that they can compete with our drivers at the front, Felix and Luke and Lucas and Ben Mitchell, people like that. It doesn't mean they're able to compete with them, because those guys know the circuit and the racecraft of the Formula Ford on Castle Combe, but it will always be interesting to see. Nathan Ward is out, and I'm just looking. I believe, yeah, I'm pretty sure he has wrapped up Class B, but Sam Street will be out to keep him honest as well. Sean Macklin as well in the Class B car. Class C, David Cobbold has already secured that, but he is back out there again, as is Richard Earl, Kane Tilley, and Michael Phillips. So that's all to play for there. And Kieran Atwood is an addition, by the way. That was an addition to the programme. He's out there. I was hoping he was going to be, but he wasn't on the original list. That's obviously in a Class A car. But it's so interesting to see what's going to happen between Felix Fischer and Luke Cooper. The tension is going to be big, and you know, they didn't want to tempt fate by coming on talking about it too much just yet. So that's the Formula Fords. The Saloon Car Championship. Well, that I had hoped Mike Good was going to come on. I think I might be wrong, but I think that he has already secured the championship. Well, Mark Wyatt's 71 points compared to Mike Good's 86. So maybe not yet. There's still a bit to play for in there. But Mike Good is on 86 points. Mark Wyatt on 71. Remember, it's 10 points for a win, 1 point for a fastest lap, and we've got a double header again. So Mike would need some bad luck for it to fall away. But we have seen things like that happen. In 3rd place, crazy close, tied on 63 points, is Adam Preble, last year's champion. James Keeping, champion from, I should know that off by the top of my head. When did Keepo win the Saloons? It was 2021. I thought it was the year before. So it'll be interesting to see whether Keepo can get 3rd in the championship, whether last year's champion's going to beat him. Really going to be intriguing to see. Just quickly catching up. Sorry, a few messages, lots of messages have just come in. Emma Brown, by the way, sorry, on the Formula Ford says that Alicia Hamlin, I believe from a conversation at last round, Alicia will be in a Class A car. Okay. Thanks, Em. Sorry about that one. And Alicia, Alicia, brilliant. You're watching. Hi, Chris. It is correct. I'm in my Class A Ray and not the Royale this time, just to confuse me. Thank you, Alicia. Much appreciated. It's easily done. I've got to be honest. I am easily confused. But I'm sure it's been before where you've obviously threatened to come out in that car and then it's changed, so you weren't able to. Mike Good, we're just talking about him. Roll on this Saturday. Sorry you couldn't make it for the interview tonight. Let's all have some fun racing. Absolutely, mate. The most important thing. I'd rather you miss this and were there on Saturday than the other way around. So brilliant. Julie Atwood, Kieran Atwood's mum, thumbs up. Good to see that he is on the list. I'm pleased with that. And Emma Brown, the Formula 4 coordinator, saying it'll be 2 great races on Saturday, 100%. And Julie saying good luck, everyone, for the weekend. And yes, we will be there. Good man. And Mike Goods actually said, yeah, I got the championship by 1 point overall with the drop scores. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. I wasn't sure. I knew in my head, I'm sure I'd seen something. So Mike Good has already got the championship by 1 point, but it's now that fight for second place. Mark Wyatt, Adam Preble, and James Keeping. 2 of them will get overall trophies. 1 of them will lose out altogether. So really, really tense. We look forward to see how that one's going to play out. In terms of the entry list, let's have a look. So we've got Dave Spiller back. We heard from Pete, his dad, earlier. They've got the steering rack that broke. That's all sorted. Jack Bolton out in the Golf. Bill Brockbant, the Badger's back again in his Seat Ibiza. Adam Preble, John McMillan in the Megane. Peter Elliston in the Golf. Corey Webber in the Renault Clio. Sorry, they were all Class A. Corey Webber's Class B in the Renault Clio. Mark Wyatt, of course, in his Astra. And Graham Cox in the Clio, all in Class B. Class C, Graham Cox, James Keeping, Nathan Sutton, James Blake, Lee Waterman, Wayne Rushworth, and Matt Harvey. So plenty in Class C. And in Class D, Mike and Roger Good and Tim Swift. And in Class E, Harrison Chamberlain and Robert Watson. Although I'm intrigued to see that Harrison Chamberlain's in Class E, because I thought that had been sorted, the issue on the suspension, I think it was. But we'll wait and see. And Robert Watson out in the BMW M3. So a great grid for the saloon cars as well. So they are race number 4 and 11 on the calendar. By the way, one of the things that I didn't know until tonight is that Castle Combe Circuit are now doing e-ticketing for the first time this weekend. So the advanced tickets have not closed. They are still open, and they stay open until Friday night because there's no trying to get tickets out in the post for you. It is e-ticketing for the first time. So advanced priced on your tickets is right up until Friday night. So if you're on the fence, don't be. I mean, you've heard the excitement that we've got in our visiting championships, our local championships, 13 races to take us through right towards the curfews. It's going to be a challenge. So get yourself those tickets, even if you haven't yet. You haven't missed out on those figures. Just making sure. Tim Perry says he's been a passenger in Dave Spiller's Audi TT. What a beast. You're braver than me, Tim, I can tell you. What next? The GT Championship. So that Castle Combe GT Championship, that by my reckoning, and again, we've just established that I'm not particularly trustworthy on these kinds of things, but by my reckoning, that goes right down to the wire. And we've got at the top of the pile at the moment, Jamie Sturgis, past champion, don't forget, on 44 points. And that's a Class D car, that TCR. Alan Hamilton in his Class B Westfield on 41 points. So 3 points between them. In third place is Dylan Popovich on 34 points and 33 for Doug Watson in his Ferrari. And he has come really strong. And they're all in different classes. Dylan Popovich Class A, Class C for Doug Watson's Ferrari. So there's going to be an awful lot. Remember, they score their points in their class. So somehow me and Clive Woodward have got to try and keep the maths worked out somehow. But hopefully we'll keep you aware of what's going on. And the champions will be crowned. Hot Hatch, there's a H in there, by the way. Another fantastic grid that's out here. Thomas Owen, Jason Stack, Julian Fisher, Jordan Herman, George Kimber, Claire Pensome, Dean Clayton, Tim Fuchs-Bell, Daniel Rowe, Richard Kemp, Jonathan Fish, Mark Williams, Kai Barker, Sean Govard, Good to see that AX is going to be back out again. Nathan Sutton. Oh, good. Nathan's out in that one as well. Jeff Ryle. That car's been looking so quick this year. Sean Deacon. I saw he was out in a Janetta paddle shift the other day, Sean Deacon, and he liked it. Ben Pemberton, having gone and raced at Brands Hatch as well earlier this last month. Scott Hughes, Ollie Kingston, George Walker, Steve Waite, Erling Jensen. That normally is removed at the 11th hour, but it would be great to see if Erling Jensen's out in the Mini. Simon Fisher, Tim Daffin, Max Gray, Gary Franks, Tony Cooper out in his Class F Honda Civic. And an addition to this program was Sam Stride out in the Class F Honda Civic. So an incredible grid that's out on that one as well. Tim saying when he went out in the TT was amazing, but thank God for the 5-point harness. It was fast. Yeah, that's why I don't like it when someone else's control. It doesn't do it. So listen, qualifying starts at 8:30. First race, one race before the lunch break, 11:35. Then we go into the lunch break, which gives us a chance to get the Mighty Minis out on the grid, and that's your grid walk. Then the first race after lunch, therefore, obviously, is the first of the two Mighty Minis. Monoposto Tiedeman Trophy, Saloon Car Championship, GTs, Hot Hatches, Hyundai Coupe Cup. Then we start repeating it. Formula Fords, Mighty Minis, Monoposto, Saloon Cars, GTs, and a Hyundai Coupe Cup. The only thing that hasn't got a double header this time is the Hot Hatches. They try to rotate that one around, but a big grid for their big 20-minute race. And as I say, don't forget, if you haven't bought advance tickets, or other people that are thinking of going haven't bought advance tickets yet, for the first time ever, e-tickets, so you can order right up until Friday night and still get the advanced prices for them, because they don't need to close early. Wow, I think we've covered everything. Thank you so much for joining us. Emma Brown sums it up nicely. Safe trip to the circuit all. See you all Saturday. 100%. It's been a pleasure to have your company again. As I say, we will keep this going during the winter months, a show a month, possibly two. There's talk about doing an increase so that we can talk about circuit stuff as well as racing club stuff. Mike Cotton, see you Saturday. Indeed, my friend. Best of luck to everyone who's fighting for their championships. But most of all, I can't wait to sort of catch up with so many of you. It always feels like a long time ago. Cheers, George Gillespie. See you there, mate. Enjoy your second finals day, I think you said it was. So enjoy it. Castle Combe Racing Club, thanks for an amazing season. Proud of everyone. I echo those sentiments as well. Tim Perry says, good luck to all of you. See you all there on Saturday. Dilly, dilly. Jed Doyle says, silly, silly. I'm sure that's dilly, dilly, mate. Just logged on. What's happening? We're about to go and get some sleep, mate. You come in at the right time. But listen, thank you to everybody for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully, we'll see you all there on Saturday. Good night.